Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srimati Kumar Acharya. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please give your valuable comments. So we are discussing about the dosha analysis. Almost in the previous parts we have completed the basics of doshas. Actually we are now entering into the subject. Okay. Now how doshas are originated in the body, how they are formed. The answer is doshas are formed from the food, what we consume. The food what we consume is nothing but it is the Panchamahabhuta food. It is nothing but it is Panchamahabhuta food. So therefore, the origin of the dosha is basically from the food. Basically, it is governed by the universal changes. If you don't tune yourself with the universal changes, then it will going to cause the problem. Okay, because adopt the food style and lifestyle as per the seasonal changes and as well as day-to-day changes. That's very important. Sayankala charya, dinacharya, rutucharya. So these things are very important because actually these charyas are actually formed for that purpose to moderate ourselves according to change in the rhythm of this universe. The rhythm of the universe or the atmosphere that will going to change in every fraction of the second. In the morning hours, evening hours, night hours, okay, forenoon, mid-noon, etc. Day, night, etc. Seasonal changes, etc. So we need to change ourselves. So in Vata Prabala Kala of the body and as well as season, suppose Vata Prabala Kala, evening time, and also season, Vata Prabala Kala, maybe in what you say, the Grishma Ritu, go for Vata Harakriya to prevent the over-functioning of the doshas. Okay, so dosha inside the body is nourished by the anna which is taken from the universe. Okay, Purusha Annamaya, Annadehu Purusha. Okay, dosha inside the body is get nourished by the anna which is taken from the universe, and that anna we know that it is Panchamahabhuta. So Vata Pitta Kapha directly influences Sattva, Raja and Tama because that's the beginning part, Sattva, Raja, Tama. So therefore if you take Vata Jahara, if you take Pitta Jahara, it also has effects over the Sattva, Raja, Tama. If you take the Pitta Jahara more, what we usually call it Satvika Ahara, that will go into nourishes the Sattva. If you take Kapha Jahara more, it is going to nourish the Tama. So Rajasika food vitiate the Vata, Tamasika food vitiate the Kapha, and etc. So therefore we usually say Yatha Annam Tata Manam. Okay, so our manas, this is Sattva, Sattva, Raja and Tama, these three gunas, so they directly depends upon or related with the food what we take. Yatha Annam Tata Manaha. Okay, so all the doshas will vitiate themselves and also the others. So that means a Vata, when you take Vata Kara Haravyara, the Vata is get vitiated, and this vitiated Vata also vitiates the other doshas. So all the doshas will have Prakrita Lakshanas and Vaikrita Lakshanas. So this is our basic part. Now this is how the doshas are formed from the Anna. Now doshas will have Prakrita Lakshanas and Vaikrita Lakshanas. Okay, doshas, Prakrita Lakshana means doshas in the normal stage. Vaikrita Lakshana means doshas in the abnormal stage or vitiated stage. Now, how to understand the doshas? This is actually the definition of the doshas. Okay, so dosha can be understood by its two things. One is normal function, another one is abnormal functions. Okay, so that is what it is told in the science. That is Prakriti Arambatvat and Vikhara Utpattitvat, Madhukosha. In Madhukosha he says that doshas can be understood by two things. Prakriti Arambatvat, that means normal functions of the doshas, Prakriti. Vikhara Utpattitvat, that means abnormal functions or vitiated functions of the doshas. So any entity which carries these two properties is called as dosha. Dosha entity dosha. Doshas are always liable to get undergo vitiation. Therefore they say, Madhukosha says that if any factor, if it has got these two qualities, what is that? It has got a normal function and it has got a abnormal function. Then only it is called as dosha. So any entity which carries these two properties, that is called as dosha. Rakta is not considered as dosha. The reason given is Rakta Dushti Lakshanas can be observed, isn't it? Rakta Dushti Lakshanas can, but there is no explanation of normal functions of Rakta, dosha. There is no explanation of the normal functions of, see, why Rakta is not considered as dosha? Because any dosha should follow these two rules. What is that? It should have a normal function and it should have abnormal function. Okay. Now in case of Rakta, you find the abnormal functions. Rakta Dushti Lakshanas are same. But there is no explanation of normal functions of the Rakta dosha. Of course, normal functions are explained for Rakta, but that is explained for Rakta dhatu, not for the dosha. Okay, that's the reason why Rakta is not considered as dosha, according to Charaka. The reason is Rakta, normal functions of the Rakta as a dosha is not mentioned. Normal functions of Rakta as a dhatu is mentioned. As a dosha it is not mentioned. That means it is not fulfilling these two important qualities, criteria. Therefore, it is not considered as a dosha. Now, again, continuing with the definition of the doshas, one which independently produces the disease is called as dosha. Another definition. Okay, one which independently able to produce the disease is called as dosha. Swatantra vikara utpatti bhava. Another criteria to say any entity as dosha is swatantra vikara utpatti bhava. It has to be, it should have the capacity of individual independently producing a disease. Now, this explanation is not acceptable because, suppose if I give this explanation as one of the criteria to say this is dosha, this is not acceptable because vata etc. doshas are not actually independent. Now what they say, any entity which is independently able to produce the disease is called as dosha. But although they have given this definition, swatantra vikara utpatti bhava, this is not possible, not acceptable, because we are saying that dosha should independently produce a disease. Okay, but doshas are not independent. Doshas are not independent because doshas are depending on aharadi. How the doshas are produced in the body? They are produced from the panchabhautika food which is taken from outside. That means food which is taken from outside. So doshas are depending on the food. They are not independent. Therefore, this criteria is not acceptable. So further, as for this version, only vata can be considered as dosha. As pitta and kapha depends on vata, isn't it? Now pitta and kapha, these two are dependent on vata. Vata, pitta, phangu, kapha, phangu, phangabo maladatava. Vayunu tatra niyante, isn't it? That means pitta and kapha are not dependent, not independent, they are dependent. So then we should say that vata and pitta and kapha are not at all doshas. So it is not possible. So this particular criteria is not acceptable for this purpose. Okay. Now, vata, pitta and kapha imbalance need not to be fixed nature in each and every individual. Now, of course, the disease is produced when there is imbalance between vata, pitta and kapha, isn't it? But the imbalance of these three doshas is not always fixed in each and every individual at each and every situation. Charaka says, Charaka says in Grahani Adhyaya. So what he says, Vatadi doshas are originated from the ahara when it undergo digestion. We say that Vatadi doshas are depending on food. When this food undergo digestion in the Grahani, then Charaka says that the Vatadi doshas are produced. Food contains all the 6 rasas. Each rasa is attributed with the 2 important Panchamahabutas. Okay, just Madura, Jala, Madura. The Madhura rasa contains Jala and Prithvi, like that. Now all the Panchamahabutas and formation of the doshas takes place as it undergo process of digestion and metabolism. How these doshas are formed? When Panchamahabhuta food undergo process of digestion and metabolism, these doshas are formed. They are not independent. These doshas are formed. Now, like in the first stage, there is a digestion of the Madhura ahara, so it leads to the formation of the kapha, avasthapaka. I think you know that. Similarly, in the Amla avasthapaka, there is production of the pitta. Similarly, in case of a Katu avasthapaka, there is production of the vata. This is one phase of production of the doshas inside the body from the ahara. When the aharas are undergoing digestion and metabolism, these doshas are produced. Same rule is also applied for the cellular metabolism. Similarly, in the cellular metabolism also, same rule is applied. When the glucose undergoes metabolism, breakdown of the glucose initially produces the vata, then intracellular enzymatic activities in the glucose metabolism, so that is nothing but pitta. Similarly, lastly, the production of the heat and energy and end product, so that is nothing but kapha. End product is kapha. Now, similarly, such changes can be also appreciated at the DNA level, that we will not discuss now. Okay, so this is how actually Aharas is responsible for the production of the doshas as mentioned by Charaka in Grahani Chikisa. Now in the next class we will see the doshas and as well as Prakriti, how the Prakriti is formed or what is the Prakriti of the doshas. So that part we will see in the next class. Thank you very much.